Sammy here says we're getting more video game movies like Catch On, Detective Pikachu, Sonic, Mortal Kombat, and considering we're getting to the superhero overdose, do you think we're entering the video game movie era? Well, video game movies, I mean, they come in waves, right? Go back to the early 90s, and you've got like, 93 Super Mario Brothers, which, you know what? I like that movie. Then you get like Double Dragon, Street Fighter, like they had a few, Double Dragon was pretty bad. I love Street Fighter. You get Mortal Kombat. And then it's like those movies they're hit or miss. And the studios, you get Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which is just a terrible movie. And then you get all of these, studios get cold feet over it. And then you get to the early 2000s and you got Resident Evil and you got that whole franchise, which they're rebooting now. They were trying to get a Halo movie off the ground for a long period of time. All of these things that they were trying to do. The problem with it is ultimately that the studios, like the technology, I don't think was there. Now, I'll tell you the best fucking company to do it, and it ultimately ended up tanking the company, was in 2001, Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. That movie, now granted, it's in name only for Final Fantasy, but it is somewhat considered a video game-esque movie. That is the way to go. Animate that shit. I was just rewatching it not too long ago, and it's like still a good movie. I've always enjoyed Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. I know they did King's Glaive for Final Fantasy 15. They did the animated Advent Children for Final Fantasy 7, which I still don't fucking understand. And so it's like, animate these movies, right? There's no reason why I have to have a fucking live action Halo movie. I don't. The Unreal 5 engine that's coming out can easily be used to make animation. Don't believe me? Go find Studio or Oat Studio. Neil Blomkamp did a whole bunch of short films. When he when Alien 5 fell apart, he ended up going off and starting up his own little short film company called Oat Studios, where he mixed both live action and CG, and he did a lot with the Unreal 4 engine. The Unreal 4 engine is what powers the technology in the volume, the Stagecraft technology for the Mandalorian. I mean, if you've seen, that's Unreal 4. Have you seen what they've been able to do with Unreal 5? There is absolutely positively no reason why mocap studios that handle all of those video games, cutscenes, or even trailers can't come together, find the financing to put together a movie that looks that good. And you base it around a video game and you tell us the right kind of story. Like, personally, give me Resident Evil 4 animated. I'd see it in a heartbeat. Give me like Castlevania. They've done the show. Give me an animated movie based on one of the games. Heartbeat. The technology is there on that front. But the problem, though, is that these producers and these companies, they don't believe that the animation can sell like that. And truth of the matter is, maybe on a global market, they may not be able to, but streaming you can, right? Look at how Invincible, incredible show, because it has amazing writing and amazing voice acting behind it. Animation's kind of wonky at times, but I'd still go see that on the big screen. Why don't they hire anime companies to design it? Those guys can do some pretty good stuff that we know, with the Demon Slayer being as popular as it is here in the United States. They can make some serious money on that. We know that, right? We know that. So why not take it and adapt it into something that can be used for a video game adaptation? But none of this Batman Gotham Knight or Halo Legends shit. I don't need a bunch of short films from anime studios that are trying to develop a Western project. That doesn't work. I'm sorry. As much as I love like RPGs from Japan and all that stuff, their aesthetic is wonderful. Their animation is wonderful. Their ability to translate Western properties into something that is tangible for the West, it's lost on many of us. And this is why anime works as it does here in the States to a small degree of people, oftentimes who don't find it on their own, but are introduced by their friends. Or they watch something on like Cartoon Network or some shit like that, or whenever they did the Adult Swim stuff. All right. But that's what I'm talking about, though. For video games, we could easily get into a situation where they just start adapting. Like, why? Mass Effect doesn't need a live action version of it. All right. Just update the graphics. Mass Effect 2 looked amazing when it came out in 2009. I mean, what they did for Yvonne Strahovski is for her face, they just mirrored one side of her face. That isn't her real face. They mirrored one side of it in order to make it look perfect. It looks like Yvonne Strahovski, but it's just her face, half of it mirrored on the other side. No one knows because your mind doesn't see it, but that's the truth. They can easily do this stuff now. Anyway, I would love to see them go down that pathway. I'm hoping that they figured out, you know, look, Warner Brothers has a lot of great properties for their video game. Why don't we get an animated Arkham Knight movie, right? Or Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight. Give us the Arkham, games, but as an animated movie, something like that. Give us something cool.